Hey everyone, we have a lot to go over this week because not only was Cybertron Con, there was also the Singapore Comic Con and a few smaller conventions on top of all that, so we have a lot of new things to go over. Before we begin with that though, we have one sighting this week, that being the reissue of Studio Series Dark of the Moon Soundwave. These guys are popping up at Target just in time for the holidays. It's a pretty good toy. I regret selling mine, so if I see this guy, I'm probably going to try to pick him up. He's a good Soundwave. Plus, he comes with Laserbeak, which is also nice. Third Party had a couple of things to go over this week. For one, Kang Toys have shown us what Swoop looks like. Usually, I don't like red chest Swoop, but Kang Toys are so much their own thing that I'm kind of happy that they went with the red. This guy looks so cool. Like, he looks like a Gundam. He looks like Epion. It's really, really interesting to see Kang Toys and just their aesthetics applied to these characters. I really liked the sludge that we've seen from them. Swoop, I think, just looks even better. And then you can see, here's his Pterodon mode. And, yeah, it kind of reminds me of, like, some different monsters and robots I've seen over the years. I can't put my finger on it, what this reminds me of, but it's cool. Obviously, I would never want this as like my G1 Swoop, but just for a cool Swoop in a cool art style, yeah, this rocks. I really enjoy what Kang's doing. Speaking of things I enjoy, New Age has shown us their new take on Darius, their Galvatron. This is the movie-accurate redeco, so he's going to be a little bit more indigo as opposed to purple. He looks really sharp. But the thing I'm excited for, Shattered Glass Shockwave. And if I'm using my memory correctly, if I'm remembering right, this is our first Shattered Glass Shockwave ever. I'm not a big fan of the design. I don't think that yellow is the way to go with Shattered Glass Shockwave. I always thought that, like, he should have maybe been a little bit more blue. He should have been maybe, like, Prowl colors even, like black and white. Yellow, it just seems like you just did the inverse color, but even still, it would be cool to get this guy for another reason than this is a very important Shockwave, and we've never had him as a toy before. Official reveals, and you better believe there's a lot to go over. For one, these are the hydropods. You can see that they're essentially, like, not even necessarily bubble blowers. You just put the heads in water and they float. It's sick. I love it. It looks like the jars on Futurama, like if they were given robot bodies. It's like that episode where Richard Nixon has Bender's body. But you can see Optimus and Megatron. Obviously, these are really simple toys. They're meant for kids, but it's kind of cool to see. I think it's fun. Speaking of the Mix Mashers, so the Hero Mashers sequel line, they just revealed Starscream, like out of nowhere. But here's what's even cooler. If you get Starscream, you're going to get Optimus Primal's mace. We already know about Optimus Primal getting his own figure, but if you get Starscream, you're going to get another piece for Primal, which, because of the Mix and Max gimmick, you can also just use that on Starscream. In terms of the design, you can see he's very Cyberverse-y. He's using the evergreen look, but overall, I think Starscream's going to be a really fun one. Authentics, a line that I honestly thought was dead, is doing a G1 style Mirage, and I'm cautiously optimistic because Mirage, I like Mirage a lot, but the Authentics have been having issues lately. They used to be such a hidden gem of a line with Soundwave and Shockwave and the smaller figures, but as of late, they've started to really have the corners cut, and there already weren't that many corners to cut to begin with, but we'll see. Cautiously optimistic. I can't speak today. My apologies. Here was a big reveal. Was the Sonic collaboration. You can see that Sonic, or I don't remember the character names, but basically they're supposed to be Sonic and Tails. Tails is turning into the tornado. Sonic is turning into the car he used in Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. Those are two good vehicle picks. If you had to choose two vehicles in Sonic and don't want to use Eggman vehicles, those are probably the two to go with. I don't like the fact that they look like Sonic and Tails. I hate the furry heads. Looking specifically at the Tails, I like the design there a ton. I hate that it looks like he's wearing a Tails mask. I don't know. I kind of hope that we see a remold of these guys eventually. A biplane transformer would be amazing. I saw someone did a Digibass to turn him into a like G2 Ransack, and it looked really, really cool. But, you know, for people who are into this, I'm happy for them. It's super cool to see Sonic and Transformers working together. But when you told me that there might be a Sonic Transformers collab, I was thinking go for the obvious pulls. Go for Metal Sonic. Go for Mecha Sonic. Do something really cool and interesting. Maybe do Sonic the Fighter's Rocket Metal Sonic and have him be maybe a Seeker adjacent figure. But just seeing Sonic and Tails, to me, this is almost on the same level as those Godzilla collabs. I'm not going to lie. But that's just me. We have a new model kit in town. So I forget this company name. It's another Chinese company. These things are going to be 7 centimeters tall. So they're going to be true micro figures. But they're going to be doing blind box model kits just like Aldi, just like Blockies. They've already revealed the first wave. You can get Optimus and Megatron. They both look fine. Starscream and Bumblebee both look decent. I just noticed Megatron will not include his fusion cannon, but it looks like everyone else got guns. You get Nemesis Prime and a limited edition Golden Prime, so there's 3 Optimuses in this wave. And then, that should have been Shockwave. But Shockwave is also in this line. I'm not terribly taken with them, just because they are small and there's so many model kits already going, but hey, these might be cool. I'm personally more excited to see what Aldi feels like, though. Speaking of model kits, there's no new reveals from Blockies for Transformers, but they did reveal, or at least it's the first time I've seen it, they got the license to do Sesame Street, which I really dig that. I love the Muppets. I love anything Muppet adjacent or Jim Henson adjacent. So if you're telling me I could get a really nice model kit that feels like the Transformers, but they're for Sesame Street characters, I might be buying a box of that before too long. I'll be honest with you. I like them. Now we're getting into the proper Hasbro reveals. So for one, we finally see what Omega Prime is going to look like in terms of the box. Good looking box. For the people who ordered this guy, it looks like it's going to be spectacular. Now into the proper mass retail reveals. Age of the Primes is going to be giving us the aerial bots. Here's Silverbolt. Silverbolt made sacrifices for Superion. I think we can all admit that. I don't think he looks bad. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think I'm going to be getting Superion, though. I'm still really happy with my Combiner Wars Superion. This guy's going to be a better figure. He's going to be a better feeling figure. There's going to be more to him. But I love that Silverbolt. I love those aerial bots. I like Alpha Bravo more than I like Slingshot. So I'm not going to be going for these guys. But if you're in the market for a Superion, I think this is the better Superion to get. If you're not like me and you don't have a decade of nostalgia wrapped in that Combiner Wars Superion. Speaking of, just look at what the Age of the Prime Superion is going to look like. He's just gorgeous. Completely puts the Combiner Wars to shame. So, again, if you're in the mood for aerial bots, or if you just need a proper big Superion, this guy's going to more than hit the mark. Air Raid looks pretty good. And I can confirm, these guys all look super different from their Combiner Wars versions, which is great. I like Air Raid a lot. He has a good design in general. So I'm excited to see Skydive, because that's the one I always like the most. And then here's Slingshot. Slingshot looks kind of bad, but that's not really the toy's fault. That's more just Slingshot's always had a bad design. He looks like a balding 40-year-old. He looks like a guy who'd be super into drones. Also, he has very thin arms, I just realized. Look how, he has paper forearms. You know, you make sacrifices for the combined mode. But, again, I'm not trying to dunk on the aerial bots. I think they're going to be a good set of toys when they're out. Wasp got revealed. He's going to be a remold of that Legacy United animated Bumblebee. I might get this guy. I really like the new head sculpt, but I'm not a big fan of this figure. So maybe if he goes on sale, I'll get a Wasp, because I do think he looks cool. Now this one, Velocitron Crasher, is getting a proper re-release. That's awesome. It's a great looking toy. I love GoBots. I would love to pick up this Crasher. We're also getting Leader Class G2 Grimlock, and I know someone's going to say, wait, there's already been a G2 Grimlock, and you're right. We got the Tiger Stripe one in the Toxitron collection, but when you say G2 Grimlock, most people think of this blue Grimlock. We're getting him, and they're saying that this is G2 Wheelie that comes with him. That's Marvel Comics Wheelie that's coming with him. He looks fine. I have a Grimlock, but if you like G2 Grimlock, if your childhood Grimlock was G2 Grimlock, I'm glad this guy's going to be out there for you. So this really isn't a toy reveal, but we have had all the Prime's designs revealed, at least what they're going to look like. And some of them look really amazing. I'm not going to go through every single person here, but just in general, it looks like Vector Prime's going to more or less be that one we got from Legacy United. That's fine. I like my Cronus. He looks pretty solid. Quintus looks sick. I can't wait for Quintus. Amalgamus Prime with his shockwave head and his 4 arms, I really dig. And Liege Maximo. I'm really glad he doesn't just look like Loki. He looks like a weird demon out of Doom, and I love it. Can't wait to see all these guys as proper toys. Speaking of proper toys, so far, talking about Age of the Primes, we talked about the things that were interesting, but maybe not for me. Now we're talking about the things that when I see it, I'm going to buy them on sight. Titan class Star Convoy. What a beautiful looking figure. And he comes with everything I could possibly want with a Star Convoy, including the Rodimus Minicon. I can't wait for this guy. By the way, if you look at that torso and say, hey, that looks familiar, Star Convoy was part of the basis for Animated Optimus. So some of these design elements actually went into Animated Optimus, for anyone who maybe doesn't know that. Not a toy, but we got the design revealed for Heatwave. He's going to go with Chase really well. Can't wait to get some more rescue bots. Prima looks really good. I like how Prima looks like a moon rover. And also, I'm glad that Prima gets to keep the Matrix. Usually Prima's the one that holds the Matrix. I know they changed it to, who was it? Who was in Transformers 1 who had the Matrix? It was, he's from War for Cybertron. Why am I blanking on his name? Zeta, thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking, but yeah, one of my favorite Primes, I completely forgot his name. It'd be cool to see Zeta Prime in this lineup. I don't know if he's going to be here or not, but, I like Prima. I think he looks really nice. I like the head design. It kind of reminds me of Fortress Maximus. So, we're going to wait and see. But then you got Onyx Prime, who looks insane, like a centaur with wings and stuff. I can't wait to see his toy. He's going to be really cool. Plus, spoiler alert, that's Shockwave. So when I get him, I guess that's another episode of Sunday Shockwave. Now this one did my heart good. Vortex. We haven't seen the toy yet, but Vortex is going to be coming very soon. I don't need another group of aerial bots. I would love another group of Combaticons. I love my Combiner Wars Combaticons, but the Combaticons are those, like, some of those characters where it's like I want multiple versions of them because I enjoy them all so much. And I know I have a lot of people who in the comments ask for the mini toys of Vortex. They're going to be really excited to see this new toy coming out, I think. I'm excited for Vortex. I want new Swindle, obviously. Brawl, Onslaught. The person I'm most excited for, though, is Blastoff. I just want to know what new Blastoff looks like. And there's a part of me that wants Blastoff to be the fighter jet again. It's never going to happen. People got so mad about it last time, but I like fighter jet Blastoff. But I'll like any Blastoff they make, I think, as long as it's good. Now we're getting into, these guys are must-haves. I think they're going to be really special. And we're starting with Solus Prime. Keep in mind, Megatronus has already been revealed. They're not on this PowerPoint, but Megatronus is absolutely a character I can't wait to get. Solus is another one. I think she looks perfect. I love her design. I think they captured it as well as you possibly could. And I like her car mode a lot. It looks like an armored truck from World War II. I really, really enjoy it. Skybite, getting a new toy. Kind of out of nowhere, a new toy. Which is awesome, because Skybite's one of those characters that the more toys we get of Skybite, I'm convinced the world will be a better place. Cannot wait. It's unfortunate that we lost Peter Spellos just a while back. Because there's a part of me that's like, oh man, it'd be really cool, like, if there was a commercial for Skybite and Spellos was there, but I'm happy that we're getting a new Skybite, and, I know this is not how it would ever work, but I would like to think that maybe someone in Spellos' life, loved ones, friends, family, maybe even some of the students that helped him with his GoFundMe, that they would get a Skybite from Hasbro. It's never going to happen because, Hasbro's scum, but, it's a nice thought, and a part of me wants to think it could happen. In any case, I'm excited for Skybite. But this is the character I am the most excited for. It's the toy I've been wanting ever since Legacy Evolution. Red Alert. A screen-perfect Red Alert. Oh my god, I can't wait for Red Alert. They included everything you could want, except for maybe the Minicon. It would have been nice to get his Minicon. But the proportions are perfect, the colors are perfect, the sculpting is perfect, the vehicle mode is perfect. I'm hoping the transformation is going to be good. I can't wait for Red Alert. I cannot wait for Red Alert. My god, it can't come soon enough. On the backs of Solus Prime and Red Alert, I think Wave 1's going to be amazing. But we're just going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait until they come out. And that leaves us with one final reveal. This is from 3-0. This is their Ironhide and their Jazz. This is for their 11-inch tall line, their DLX line. And they both look incredible because they're 3-0, and 3-0 are artists. They are able to be masters of their craft, and they've made some incredible figures before. They're just continuing with Ironhide and Jazz. And I think that's a good place to wrap it up. So overall, were the reveals good? I think so. There were a lot of things that had been leaked before, but there were still a lot of surprises. Like Skybite had not been leaked, I don't think. There was a good bit of interest from me just to see characters like Solus Prime. Prima looks great. I'm so glad I never covered the prototypes. Because if I'd ever include those prototypes on a news video, it would have just been me talking about how I think they look kind of bad. Seeing them in the colors they're supposed to come in, I dig it so much. That's why I don't cover stolen prototypes on the news videos. It's because I think they give bad first impressions. And I was right, because Prima looks great, and I didn't think Prima was going to look great. But I can't wait to see Age of the Primes. I'm excited to see just everyone's reactions. I'm kind of winding down in terms of my big purchases from Hasbro. At this point, I want to be complete on a few lines, but not necessarily generations anymore. But there's still a lot of figures I want, and there's a lot of characters that I'm excited to see get new toys. And, maybe if people just sing the world of praise to Superion, maybe I'll get that Superion too. But in any case, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think it was a pretty good week for reveals. It was a couple of great conventions. We got so much new stuff, and even the figures that had been revealed previously, we got more information about them. I'm excited to see what all is going to be coming out in 2025. And I guess the big question now is, can I afford a lot of the stuff in 2025? We're going to have to wait and see. But thank you guys for watching, and we will see what we get up to next time.